The automobile sector, one of the great cyclicals, and right now, one of the most disrupted. Autos rise and fall with the economy, with interest rates, and with the price of steel. And layered on top is the biggest shift in a century, the move to electric vehicles, which is creating clear winners and losers. Let's learn the fundamentals, the technicals, and the strategies for this fast-changing sector. First, understand that auto is not one market but several segments, each with its own cycle. Two-wheelers, bikes and scooters are mass market and highly sensitive to rural income, with enormous volumes. Passenger vehicles, cars and SUVs, are an urban, discretionary purchase where premiumization and the EV shift are playing out fastest. Commercial vehicles, trucks and buses, are a pure play on the economy. When freight and infrastructure boom, so do they. And tractors are a rural and monsoon play of their own. Sitting beneath all of them are the ancillaries, the component makers who supply every segment, and the best of whom also serve global and EV customers. Know which segment a maker depends on, because their cycles don't move together. What drives the auto sector? 4 forces. The first is the demand cycle. A vehicle is a big-ticket, discretionary purchase, so demand rises and falls with incomes, sentiment, and the broader economy. The second is interest rates. Most vehicles are bought on loans, so cheaper EMIs from lower rates directly lift demand. A rate cut cycle is good for autos. The third is commodity costs. Steel and aluminium are the biggest input costs, so the metals cycle flows straight into auto margins. The fourth is fuel and EV policy, petrol prices, emission norms, and electric vehicle incentives together reshape what people buy and, crucially, which makers win. Now, the metrics for analyzing an auto company. Auto has 4 defining metrics. The first, and the heartbeat of the sector, is monthly sales volumes, the units sold, reported every single month. No other sector gives you such a clear, high-frequency demand signal. When volumes turn, the stocks turn. The second is the segment mix. Two-wheelers, passenger cars, commercial vehicles, and tractors each move on their own cycle. Commercial vehicles track the economy, tractors track the monsoon and rural income. Know which segment a company depends on. The third is input costs. Steel and aluminium are huge cost lines for a car maker, so when those commodity prices rise, margins get squeezed. When they fall, margins fatten. This links auto directly to the metal cycle. The fourth is the electric vehicle transition, the defining question of the decade. Watch closely who is winning the shift to EVs and whose traditional business is being quietly disrupted. On the chart, auto has a wonderfully predictable rhythm. Track the Nifty Auto Index for the sector trend and its relative strength. The single biggest recurring catalyst is the monthly sales data, which lands at the start of every month. The whole sector reacts to whether volumes beat or missed. Mark the first of the month. Treat auto as a classic cyclical. It tends to lead in an economic recovery when people finally buy that new car, and to lag in a slowdown. Time it with the economic cycle. And watch its inverse relationship with metals. A sharp rise in steel and aluminium prices often pressures auto margins, so the two sectors can move against each other. How do you play autos? 4 strategies. First, play the volume cycle. Buy the leaders early in a demand upcycle, when sales are just recovering, and trim as volumes and margins reach a peak. Cyclicals are about timing. Second, back the EV winners. Favor the makers who are gaining share in electric vehicles and be cautious with those whose bread and butter models face the most disruption. This is a structural, not just cyclical, call. Third, don't forget the ancillaries. The auto component makers ride the very same cycle, and the best of them supply EVs and global customers, giving an extra growth angle. Fourth, be segment specific. Bet on tractor makers when the monsoon is good and rural income is rising, on commercial vehicle makers when infrastructure and freight are booming. Match the bet to the segment's own cycle. In autos, timing the cycle and picking the EV side correctly are everything. Let's make that a checklist for any auto stock. 5 steps. Step 1. Track the multi-month trend in sales volumes, not a single month that could be festive or discount-driven. Step 2. Know the segment mix and its cycle. Two-wheelers, cars, commercial vehicles, or tractors, each moving to a different beat. Step 3. Watch input costs, especially steel and aluminium, which squeeze or fatten margins. Step 4. Judge the company's electric vehicle position honestly. Is it a winner in the transition or the one being disrupted? Step 5. And crucially, time your entry to the demand cycle, buying into a recovery rather than at peak profits when the stock only looks cheap. Now, the cyclical traps. in auto. The first, and the classic cyclical trap, buying because profits are at a record and the price to earnings looks low. Cyclicals look cheapest right at the top, just before margins roll over. Low PE at a peak is a warning, not a bargain. The second, assuming the current market leader can never be disrupted. The EV shift can dethrone incumbents. A dominant maker of petrol cars can become tomorrow's laggard if it misses the transition. The third, reading one strong sales month as a trend. A single month can be inflated by festive demand or heavy discounts. Always look at the multi-month volume trend, not one data point. Respect the cycle, watch the EV shift, and autos can be very rewarding. Autos, gathered up. Monthly sales volumes are the sector's heartbeat and its number one signal. Watch the segment mix, input costs like steel, and above all the electric vehicle transition. It's a classic cyclical. It leads recoveries and lags slowdowns, so time it with the economy. In strategy, play the volume cycle and back the EV winners, and never forget that cyclicals look cheapest exactly at the peak. Next, the ultimate defensive, consumer staples, or FMCG.